All right, so that was the performance part of just a couple of choruses from Don't Play That Song by Aretha Franklin. And to be very honest, I have to do my own digging on who played the bass on this, but I just happened to come across this song and immediately started transcribing it. And that's how this journey started. And here I am just sharing what I learned from transcribing these choruses, and also of course, you can go ahead and use these concepts to play your own walking lines and practice over the same song itself, right? So let's dig right in. Okay, so the intro part, as you can see, the chords are written in a natural numbering system, and I of late moved to the system completely rather than writing the chords directly because, in general, even when I go for gigs and I'm preparing for gigs, I started writing natural number system because just having chords in C major, A minor, F, G, etc. is great, but then of suddenly your singer is gonna come and say, "Let's do it in D flat." Right, so I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm mentally transposing or rewriting the whole thing just to make sure that I'm right. So the numbering system is always helping me, whichever scale, whichever whatever they want, I can always move because I have practiced most of my harmony and also the bass neck very in a positional manner. So the numbering system works kind of well for me that way. And with the intro that we heard, we just have a intro where we have a one chord. The song is in C, of course. So if it's one, I'm going to be telling it's one. Then it goes to A minor. That's happening twice, but in the video, I've just played it once. Now, after that, what happens is the chord goes to 2 major and then back to 1, and then the song happens. So for that, the bassist where they play is, as you can see on the screen, it's 2 major da da da. Yes, that is an off chord. As per the key, of course, it should be 2 minor, but as you can see, it's not this. No, it's 2 major, and then back to 1. It kind of gives a nice tension. Back to do do do, just to make sure that the song again goes back to 1, and the whole song is in 1 6 4 5. That's about it. So it's C major, A minor, F major, G major. It goes on a loop. So before it goes into the loop, the last 2 bars are 1. So what the bassist does is dun, 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 dun. It gives a nice leeway into back to 1. What happens is C, G, G, A, B. So these are all approach notes. We will see these approach notes a lot in these walking lines where these notes kind of lead to the chord that's going in. And here, of course, the chord is pretty much the same. We are going from 1 in the intro to 1 in the intro to pretty much 1 again, which is starting the verse. But still, since we are going to a different section of a song, we need to give some sense of movement into that chord. What the bassist has done here is goes to the 5, then again from the lower 5 leads up to back to 1. So that's how the intro goes, and let's get into the song now. Don't play that song for me. Okay, now all these notes are over, of course, the one chord, which is C. And one of the common thing that we can notice in most of the walking bass lines, when I say most, a lot of walking bass lines, you can hear the sense of this pullback using the 3. What do I mean by this is always when you want to go from a root and get that feeling of pulling back and rising from there, generally you will see a lot of this to the lower third movement. What do I mean by that is from C to E. So it gives a nice way to pull back and go up that chord. So it's like do 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 do. So it's basically C E F G. So to do this, just make sure that you know where the thirds are in the neck. Just like how I told Nashville system kind of helps me because I've learned by positions. This is what I meant. What I have in mind is basically when I know I'm on C here, I just know a third is right here, which is my open E, or the third is right here, which is my in the 5th string if you are using a 5-string bass. And pretty much if I know the positions of all these thirds that are around my root, then it's very easy to just go to these movements and rise up from there. It's not only third, of course, you need to know all the relative degrees positions, but this really helps. And this is an example. Let's say if you are in D, or let's say A minor. Let's take A minor, that's in the song itself. Let's say I'm in this A. I should know the minor third, it's right here, or it's right here in the previous. This is right here in the E string, or right here in the previous string. So knowing this position, it kind of helps me give these movements. I can do, if I was doing the same thing in A minor, it'll be or so I can play lines around that, get that pullback, move to the third, and rise in the chord through that. It's a very age-old technique that's used in a lot of walking bass lines that I have been listening to. So here, coming back to this chord, as you can see, it's dun, 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 C, E, F, G. Now we have established the chord here, and we are just playing around the same tonality. Dun, 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 dun. So the whole idea of doing this, the next part is G, D, C, A, B. So the whole idea of doing this is to make sure that we have a nice approach for the next chord, which is A minor. Like I've always said in my previous video also, imagine yourself as a bassist, as a truck driver, right? You are the driver. All other parts of the truck is all other parts of the music and the harmony, the other instruments, etc., what they are doing. But you are the one who's driving the song through the changes, right? That's why you have to think. So currently it's in C. I'm establishing the chord, but I have to move to A minor. So I'm going to the B so that can be an approach to A. Da, da. I move back to A minor that way, right? So that's what's happening here. 'Cause it brings back memories. Now something interesting is happening here. What happens is the next chord is actually 6 minor, and even if you see the melody, it's in A. So it's again it's in completely A minor, A, C. It's in A minor, but the bassist wants maybe an uplifting feel here because of the way Aretha is singing these line. With full conviction, the bassist actually plays a major here. As you can see in the 6 minor chord, the bassist, I hear him playing A, C sharp, E, F sharp, more of a major vibe to what is right here. So that was very interesting, and this is how I perceived it. But am I hearing it wrong, or is there any other explanation to it? Of course, like I always say, this is not a tutorial. I'm just sharing what I found from these. But if there is any other explanation to it, hit me up, post it in the comments right below, and I'll be glad to know them as well. In this A minor chord, we have again set the tone, but the tone is very bright. Even though the chord is A minor, we have set the tone as major. Then we are going back to A. So what I'm doing is A, E, or 1 and 5. Then the next chord I'm moving is 4. So I need to lead to that. So I do A, G, F. So that's what happens in this walking line. So basically leading through the scale tones. That's what happens. And let's listen to the F now. Alright, now those are all beautiful concepts and lines in 4. And the first bar of the F chord you're seeing, it's again the same motion, the third motion that we spoke about. The F is right here. You should know that the major third is right here, right? So that's what do. So they are doing F, F, A, C, basically outlining the chord. Again, set the scene with the outlining the harmony there, and then play around it. Then. So again, here what the bassist does is plays around with the scale tones and moves back to the root by approaching it. It plays, he or she plays, because I don't know who the bassist is, A, G, E, F, F, A, G, E, F. So again, to establish that F as a chord, they approach the root again. So what happens is A, G, E, F. Then again, they're playing around the chord. Now what happens here is so beautiful. So you can see they are just outlining the chord F, A, C. Now again, think like a bassist. You have to set the stage for the next chord, drive the truck, drive the whole band towards the change that's happening, which is towards phi. So now what happens is once you have outlined the chord F, A, C, they're playing B, A, F sharp, G. Now F sharp is non-diatonic, of course, but it creates the tension for you to go to G. So it's do 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 goes to G, and this is again another concept of walking bass. You saw approaching the chord using scale tones, which is from A G. Sorry, from A G F. So that's one way of approaching. Now another way of approaching is using non-diatonic tones by chromatic approaches, so that F sharp creates that tension to go to G. So that's what happens here. So listening to the four line again. It brings back memories of days that I once knew, the days that I spent with you. Now, as you can see in the fifth line, we are just beautifully outlining the harmony there. It's G, sorry, in the fifth chord, that is G. We are just outlining the chord there. So it's G, B, D, E, G, G, F, E, G, A, B, C, back to 1, right? So basically this is all playing around with the scale tones because it's a G dominant 7 right here. So in C major, G will be mixolydian, so it will be C, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, basically C major from G to G. So you just play around that, but outline the harmony first. G, E, D, outline the harmony. Now play around. Do, 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 G, G, F, E. Now I need to lead to C, right? Do, 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 G, A, B, C, right? These are all the beautiful ways of looking at how you can approach roots using scale tones, chord tones, not diatonic tones, etc. These are all concepts of walking bass line that's there in a simple progression of 1 6 4 5 in this song, and that's why I immediately got hooked onto this, right? So now you would be able to spot all the discussions or all the concepts that we discussed until now in the second chorus of the song, as you can see. Let's go ahead. Again, it's the same variation as you can. It's more of swing. It's coming in. It's more of these syncopations just to make sure you get the feel of swing. But if you see the concept underlying that, it's the same. C, C, E. Move back to the third, get the pullback feel, walk up and play around the chord. Then approach the A using a scale tone. G, A, B, A. That happens. Now. Oh, I love this moment. Actually, we are in A minor here, and this time the bassist does not uplift it by playing the major third. The bassist is sticking to what the song is needing here. And as you can see here, the line is A, B, C, D. Just walk up the scale from the root. It's giving a nice sense of. Then it's E, D, C. Nice sense of the scale walking up from the root, and people are playing this harmony, giving the nice color of it. Now you have to move to F, right? There are multiple ways of doing it. So because I have done D, A, B, C, D, E, D, C, A, G, F, I could have done that normal, but this bassist beautifully thinks in such a way that he uplifts the whole note or the range and comes back to our concept of making sure that he gets the pullback when he or she plays the F. So as you can see, they play do 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 do. If you see the last bar, it's do do do. Just the chord tones A, C, G. Six. Just think it of a 6 minor 7, A minor 7. It's A, C, E, G. That's the chord. So they are going to target F. So how they're thinking is do 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 A, C, G, F. Beautiful. And you have already gone to the upper register here. Now you have a whole area to play around, and you can see what the bassist does to play around with that. So that's the line. So it's G, A, B, C, D, E, D, C, A, C, G, F. Now let's see the fourth chord. There we go. It's the same third pullback. Doo, doo, doo. Please stop it right away. Beautiful lines. Just making sure that there are light syncopations with multiple notes, but still sticking to the harmony. And this kind of gives meaning to the groove and the harmony, the way it has been played. So, as you can see, the line F F A B B A G F A C. So, what you can see here. So, this is the third pullback. F F A B B A G. Why? Because they want to again come back to F. Last time, if you see, the bassist played A G E F. This time they are playing B A G F. So all these are different permutations using the scale tones to approach, the chord, or just making sure that you are driving the root in the song while the four chord is prolonging for 4 bars here. So do 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 F A C B G F. The next line F A C B A F. So the next line, as you can see, we have to approach to G. Now you have to think, hey, how do I go from here? So I'm establishing the chord now, F A C, just like the last time. And last time what we did is B A F sharp G. We went kind of non-diatonic there, but here you can still approach the same diatonically. That's what the bassist does. F A C B A, instead of G, F G, moves there. That's about it. And in the G, you can see how beautifully there are some nice legato notes ringing, so that it creates a nice tension to move to the next part of the song. So it's all dun ta ta, dun ta ta, all octaves. So these are all instinctual, right? You don't need to keep walking all the time. Sometimes just hitting in the root and giving that ringing tone can increase tension. You don't need to walk all the time, right? So that's what the bassist does. G G F A V G A B C. Very similar to what was the last time. Now, the best part is in this song, if you have to see it as an exercise, apart from the fun of playing, also is take these concepts out, and then you can just practice seeing the thirds from whichever root you can see and playing the scale, and also playing the same scale from G, playing the same scale from A. Basically they are the modes. If you're playing from A, it's going to be your minor. So, or if it's playing from G, it's going to be your Mixolydian. A, F from F, it's going to be Lydian, and Aeolian from A. All these are names to it, but just get used to the sound of it. Play from A, the same C major, play from G, the same C major, etc. Get used to the sound of it, get used to the positions of the third, the chord tones, etc. Now what you can do is just jam over the song itself, and don't think too much, and just jam over the song with noticing the sounds of what you are going towards and how you're driving these changes. And that can be a great exercise on top of having fun playing over this song. And until next time, bye bye.